Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Step Up to Rise Up, the show geared to calling you higher and leveling up your life to lead a life of impact and intention. I'm happy to be joining with you again today. I'm Linda Nelson, in case we're meeting for the first time, and I'm a belief mindset coach who is passionate about you're growing your most important asset in your life and in your business, and that is you, my friends. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about your default future. It's a term that I've been aware of in the last several years and wanted to talk with you about it. We've been spending time talking about the month of October when we were in that Ready, Set, Grow challenge, and I basically gave you a roadmap for you to get yourself set up for success in the coming year. And then I launched and introduced something I'm really excited about that I've been working on for a while called Grow on the Go, which is my coaching app that allows you to grow yourself in those spare moments of the day where you have some minutes that we use those for personal growth. It's the most important thing you can do for yourself. So most of you know by now that I'm looking for 20 people who will be founders in this launch of this app, which will be just provide a ton of benefits. There's a post on that for you, but mostly it's going to be coaching. It's going to be having access to a coach. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about why it's important to have a coach that you may or may not have found that being one of the things you've even considered. So I'm here to talk to you about that a little bit as well. For those of you joining me live, be sure to put Team Live or let me know that you're on so I can come back and say hello. If you're watching this on replay later at your convenience, just put in the comments hashtag Team Replay so I can circle back and say hello to you as well. So let's just get into the topic at hand today. I want to talk a little bit about this concept called a default future. A default future is, and maybe even before I even dive into that definition, I want to talk to you again about how difficult it is to be growing and learning and transforming and living your best life alone. It is so difficult to be accountable to ourselves. It just is. And we can go it alone. We can. That's an option always. But alone is going to take you more time. You're going to make some mistakes. You won't always have what you need at the time you need it. You're going to have to discover it along the way. And so that's another reason why having a coach is helpful for you, because it gets you there faster. And we'll talk about some of those benefits toward the end of the live. So back to the definition of a default future. A default future is simply the future that you have by default if you make no changes right now. So in other words, you're going to get what you get because you're not willing to make the changes necessary to get something different. And that's all within your power, which can seem like a daunting responsibility, I know. But if you imagine your life this year, for some of you, you may have made steady growth towards your goals, and that's great. I applaud you. But for many of us, that isn't what happened. We start out the year excited. We start out a month excited, a quarter excited, and then because life happens, because we tend to give up on ourselves, because it's hard to hold ourselves accountable, we often get caught up in letting life happen to us instead of having a plan to take a proactive approach. And so we end up getting basically what life gives us. We don't challenge ourselves. We don't design something in our life that will make our life different or better. And so we get, by lack of action, I guess we get what we deserve. We get what we deserve with action too, by the way. And so I am talking to those of you who know they are capable of more. You may be looking over your past year and even making some plans for next year. And you know in the deepest parts of you that you're capable of more, that you haven't fully stepped into your full potential. And I'm here to tell you that you are capable of so much more than you even realize. But it often takes someone to point that out to you, to help you along the way. So I'm talking to those of you who are feeling that you're called higher, that God is somehow nudging you to ask more of yourself, to step out of that comfort zone, or that me zone, as we've referred to it as, where you rely on yourself, and step just a few steps into that courageous zone, which is what I call the God zone, because it's in that zone, that growth zone, that you need God to do what you want to do with your life. And so if I'm talking to you and you are having that, just that inner longing for a purposeful life, for a life filled with more joy, more meaning, more intention, more impact, then I want you to pay attention as we go forward today. One of my favorite quotes is from Glenda the Witch in the movie The Wizard of Oz. And it states, "You've always had the power, my dear. You just needed to learn it for yourself." And that is such a great quote, isn't it? We have that power within. We just need to unleash it, if you will. And that's what this coaching app is all about. It's unleashing that power from within. But as we said, alone is hard. Sometimes it makes sense for us to, pardon me, my phone's ringing, to have a coach that will help us through the waters of change and of growth, because they can be murky. And so a coach can really help you tap into that inner power. That is truly when my life changed. When I got tired of the struggle and tired of being overwhelmed, tired of setting the same goals over and over again and not reaching them, knowing deep within me that I was capable of more and listening more intently to God's call in my life, that I realized this is hard alone. I needed to have someone to help me. I needed to invest in me so that I could have someone believe in me before I could. And so I basically came to the realization that I needed a guide, a mentor, a teacher, an encourager, a strategist, someone who had gone before me in the journey I wanted to take and would help me with the steps. And that person ended up ultimately being these persons. I actually have had more than one mentor, but these coaches have absolutely been my biggest cheerleader, and I want that for you as well. So that's why, many reasons, but that's one of the reasons that I'm excited about this app, that it's an opportunity for you to get motivated on the go, to get the help you need right on the spot when you need it. It's designed to be a just-in-time learning and coaching experience that will get you thinking deeply about your life and how it can be much better by design. So here's my top 5 reasons for why you need a coach. Number 1, many of us lack a plan and steps. We don't know where to begin. I know I was like that when I first started on my journey. And so a guide can provide you with a plan that helps you identify the right goals, the right things that are going to move your life forward. They'll help you with getting some clarity about that so that the steps you take are about the differences you want to make in your life. So that's number one. They provide a plan, a step-by-step plan for you. Number two, they help you accomplish more faster. As we said, alone is hard and it takes time. And, time is one of those commodities we don't know how much we have. And so if you're looking to live a life of joy and meaning and intention, purpose, now is the perfect time. Don't lose another minute. Number three, a good coach can help you identify and reduce the obstacles that are in your way that are keeping you stuck and not moving you forward on the life that you really want. So that's number three. Number four is you will design a life that will provide you more joy, more happiness that will last, because this is sustainable with help. You'll be more effective and influential with others, i.e., more impact in your circle of influence. And who doesn't want that? You are going to become, in this process, your best self. And lastly, number five, you'll get a better life, not just a lifestyle, but a better life because you designed it with your best self. So those are the things that a coach can help you with. And this app, like I said, is all about accessing me on the go. When you have your breakthroughs, when you have a question, when you've thought deeply about something and need some guidance in that. Hello, Barb. You came in at number 3. Okay, let me see if I can catch you up. Let's see. Number 1 was needing a plan, a step-by-step plan. We often lack that. Where do I go first, second, and third? And then number 2 is having a coach will help you accomplish a lot more quickly. So you'll do more and faster. So that was 1 and 2. Good morning, Anne. Thanks for joining me. Good to have you live with me. So that's kind of a wrap up. I want you to think as I close now about the life that you had in this 2022. Go back over the months, the different seasons. We're a year now, from almost a year from where we started. Good morning, Barb. Thanks for joining me. Barb Keith. I got 2 Barbaras on today. And I want you to think about your life. Go back all the way to January when it was maybe snowing or we were starting winter or in the midst of winter. And think about what you wanted this year. We were coming off some very challenging times with the whole COVID thing and, being secluded and lots of unknowns, lots of deepening divisiveness and anger were building up, if you recall. And I know that many of us approached 2022, I know I did, with wanting more, with taking a look at life, and we're kind of coming out into the sun again, it felt like, because we'd been sequestered for so long and life was anything but normal. And so you may have been very excited about some accomplishments that you wanted to do in 2022. And then think about the steps that you took. And if you made some of those things or not, if you made some of those goals that you had set out to do. It doesn't just happen by accident. It takes a plan. And if you had one in place, you probably did very well. If you took the time to write it down, you were about 85% better than most people who don't take that time. So I'm a proponent of journaling, and that's partly why, because the things we put on paper, we actually do accomplish over time. So think about that. Then go into the next months and maybe into the spring when weather got better and we had spent a lot of time in this group on that whole topic of growth and what it takes to grow. And that is just taking, as we've said, a few baby steps out of that comfort zone and into courageous zone. And so maybe you did take a couple of steps. Maybe you needed to take some bigger steps. And if you did, you experienced some growth. You experienced some confidence in your belief that you could do it. But then, we get into another season, maybe of summer, where there were vacations, life happened, there were lots of things going on, and maybe that took you off task. And maybe the habits that you worked hard to create, the ones that you said you were going to do at the beginning of the year, kind of fell by the wayside. Because it's easy to do, as we've seen. We've got to get those habits ingrained in us so that they become automatic. And then you get into fall, and a lot of us in the fall decide, well, you know what, I didn't really get where I wanted to go, so maybe I'll just gear up for next year, or maybe I'll try to finish off the year strong with that Ready, Set, Grow challenge, only to be taken off course again. And I know it feels icky. It feels horrible to keep setting the same goals and not reaching them, because it interferes with our feelings about ourselves. We lack confidence. We're filled with doubt. It happens to the best of us. And so having a cheerleader, having someone to encourage you to the finish line is so important. And that really is what that app is all about. So as I'm wrapping up in this week, looking for my 20 founders, congratulations, Barb Keith, who is the first one to jump in. I so appreciate that, Barb. You're just so willing to do what you need to do to create what you want. I applaud that in you so much. So if you're one of those 20 that I'm looking for, one of those 20 who feels like they're called higher, drop me a message, or better still, go visit the app. Many of you have taken a look at that. I'm still in the midst of creating some changes in there, but there will be free training for you. So all you have to do is go in there and sign up. I'll drop a link in the comments when the live is complete, and you can take a little test drive of it and see what it's like. As I said, there'll always be free training, so you'll always have access to that. And then if you decide that you're going to commit, just reserve your spot for $25. And then, as I said, I'm looking for a year commitment from you, so that we can really pound this out and journey together for a year. Then I'll be asking for an upfront payment for the whole year of an additional $300 that can be paid by the end of this year. And then we'll get started. We'll actually be getting started a little bit toward the end of the month and into December, and then we'll really hit it hard come the first of the year. So that's the plan. Again, I'll put the link in the comments for you to kind of take a test drive, and you can kind of go in there and sign up just for the free stuff, and then make your decision about being one of my founders. I would be just so thrilled to work with you and create not a default future, not that life that just happens, but one that you design and create with your best self this year. And then I want you to look back on this year with all that you accomplished, with all that you did, with all that you helped create, because you took some proactive steps to having the life you deserve, not the life that happens to you. All right, my friends, I will be in touch throughout the week. I'm always available by message if you want to send me a quick message or have a chat. Those of you who are signed up now by the end of the week, I guess that would be Sunday technically, I'll be doing some onboarding work with you and setting up a plan so we can set up some actionable steps for you as we look to 2023. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I hope to hear from you soon. Bye for now.